The People's Station Radio 90.5 now presents an exclusive interview with Mr. Shah Rukh Khan during his visit to Trinidad for CPL 2018.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are here today with a man who needs no introduction at all. We've been watching him for over 25 years on the silver screen, and he makes our hearts throb, our voices sing, and our souls dance. And we are so happy to have with us today Mr. Shah Rukh Khan. Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you, Kavita, and thank you for having me on your radio channel. And thank you for all the kind words you said.
Well, for the past 2 years, every time CPL rolls around, we hear Shah Rukh Khan is coming, he's coming, and it didn't happen, but it happened this year. All your fans here, I know, they're so happy that you were able to make it.
Yeah, I've been actually wanting to come since the inception. There are 2-3 reasons. One, of course, so many people of Indian descent here in Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana and all over the Caribbean. And apart from that, I've been here 20 years ago, and the experience was wonderful. And the third reason is, while we were growing up, some of the greatest West Indian players playing with the Indian players kind of encouraged us. And I truly believe that, if we are able to participate in the sport here in the Caribbean and make it for youngsters to join in. And apart from that, watching it on television, I think really genuinely is the biggest party in sports. So I really like the colorfulness, the music. Yeah. And last night I attended the match, and I've seen matches all around the world, including IPL, our own in England and in Australia, but nothing compares to this.
Well, for us at Radio 90.5, it's a special thrill because we've been distributing your movies for the past few years, and we're also a sponsor of the Trinidad Night Riders. So we can't tell you how thankful we are that you would give us a few minutes of your time.
Thank you, Radio 90.5, and your father and your team has always been very kind, distributing our films, keeping our culture, bringing it here and keeping it alive with people. And it's very heartening to see, when you're so many miles away from home, that there are people who like your films here, and that's only because your team has been able to do that. So thank you, Radio 90.5, for helping us, and I'm really happy to see you.
Well, we're very happy to see you too. I feel like we know a bit about your acting career, but we don't know much about your background with cricket. So where did your love of the game start? Do you have any favorite childhood memories of playing cricket, maybe in the street, like how all of us grew up playing cricket?
Yeah, actually, to be really honest, I didn't think I'll be an actor. I wanted to be a sportsman. And so I used to play a bit of field hockey and football. And somehow, when I was playing in young, and I got chosen for some of the higher teams in cricket because I was a wicket keeper. And at those days, I think even now, that was the most glamorous job to do with Farooq engineer in India being a wicket keeper. I got to meet Mr. Derek Murray here, who was a childhood hero. So many cricketers, and I remember some of the matches we used to keep awake at night and hear on the transistor were with West Indies, and during the Clive Lloyd era and Kalicharan. So I've grown up watching all West Indian cricketers, and we always found them bigger, better, cooler, and with a bit of calypso. So I have a lot of memories, and most of the memories, genuinely, I'm not saying it because I'm here, would be Test cricket between Indian team and Gavaskar, Vishwanath, were at the peak, Pataudi, that era with the West Indians. So my memories are those. So I'm just extremely happy. I couldn't continue with the sport or any sport. I'd injured myself, and then I went into acting, which is also good.
Yes,
so when IPL was going on, I always had this belief that, every country should offer more opportunities in every sport than just one team. So we didn't have domestic leagues, and I'm sure you guys also didn't have it as big as CPL before. I think it really gives an opportunity to a youngster, to step up to the national team. And before doing that, there's enough, back home and even here, I'm sure sometimes when you want to be a professional sportsman, parents say, but what's the job you're going to do? So if you're able to offer some kind of a job opportunity, which is an earning chance also, through the sport a kid likes, I think chances are that he or she will grow up to be a professional sports person. So I think that aspect got me interested in doing IPL, And then CPL happened, and after a couple of years when Mr. Venki Mysore said that we should kind of come here and play, for me it was just a very natural choice.
Yeah. Why Trinidad and Tobago's team, though, out of the other Caribbean teams?
One, that's the one which was offered to us.
Okay.
But more than that, I've been here, like I said, to Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago, and I know there is a huge, a lot of people who's, they've kind of come from India, and and chutney music. So all that I had experienced here, and Tobago is very beautiful. So everything. I mean, it's just, certain things are meant to happen. I think Trinidad and Tobago and Night Riders and Jay Mehta, who owns the team with me, I think it just felt very natural and normal that we should be here. And we are glad, actually. It's really, really nice to be here.
Yeah. And what's your vision for the Night Riders brand overall? Because you have your team in India, you have this team, you have the Cape Town Night Riders. So is there a brand? Because we see that you have some of your players remain like key players. I assume that's intentional. But
the idea is actually, this is a new era. About last 8-10 years, I think it's the first time sporting franchises are becoming popular, or a business model for India. And it wasn't just supposed to be limited to cricket. But of course, because we have set up a very successful sporting franchise with KKR, and all due credit to Venki and his team, it's a little easier for us to venture into cricket around the world, keep the brand same, which is Night Riders. Also, it gives us an opportunity to keep our players and our staff and our team employed for a whole year, and everybody gets to know. And my belief in team building has always been, winning, losing, it'll happen, and it makes you feel sad and happy. But I think the main thing is, if you're able to keep a team is meant to be together. If there is a certain amount of give and take, the senior players teach the younger kids feel at home with the senior players. So trying to maintain the commonality within the Night Riders, wherever it is possible. Like we just got Chrislin now.
Yeah.
We'd love to have Dwayne Bravo in our team back home in India. Andre played against us, but he's with us. So if we are able to manage some kind of commonality, I think it just helps build the team spirit. You're always together. So last night when I come and sit here, some of the players are from KKR, who I was sitting with 3 months ago. So it's like just an extension. We know their families, we know their children. McCullum no longer plays for Night Riders, but he started with us. And I remember exchanging notes about how our kids have grown up in the last 10 years. So it's a feeling more than just, the performance on the field, and hopefully we'll be able to venture into other sporting arenas with the Night Rider. The focus being to get younger kids to have opportunities to play in their country or outside, and go on to be professional players for their country.
And as you mentioned, kids. So I think it was last week, KKR, you hosted some children from the Meal Foundation. Is it? Is that something like similar endeavors you may look to do here with KKR?
Yes, inshallah. The idea is we've been successful in business and in the sport itself. We won 2 trophies here, we won 2 trophies back home. And like we said, the spirit is to give younger kids opportunities. So these little kids, they've recovered from an illness and they're clean now, and they want to get back. And I think sports is one of the nicest ways to feel competitive again. Feel you're completely back. You can ask any sportsman, when they start coming back from an injury or an illness, the best thing is to, get into competitiveness and feel that you're strong enough. Yeah. So these kids have gone, they won 22 medals I made to here. And the little babies, wherever we get the opportunity, not just the professional side of it, I think the extension of Mir Foundation attached with TKR and KKR, and inshallah everywhere, the endeavor should be that. We don't talk much about it, to be honest, because I think we still haven't done enough through Mir Foundation, and we have a long, long way to go. But with so many businesses being run together, whether it's films, whether it's VFX, whether it's team franchise, I think the most important and heartening part of it is Mir Foundation, where we can attach all of this and take a vision of loving children forward.
Well, we can't not ask you about your movies, and you have Zero hopefully releasing in December. Is there anything you can share with us? We know you're teaming up again with Katrina and Anushka. The last time was Jab Tak Hai Jaan. That ran for 13 weeks here.
I know people like that.
Love that movie. I know you can't give away anything, but Is there anything that you can share with us on it?
Yeah, actually, it's a film directed by Anand Rai, written by Himanshu. It's a very different kind of film. I think it's one of the most challenging films Red Chillies has ever done, or Color Yellow, the production that Anand owns. And not very many people would venture into a film like this. Obviously, it's a commercially viable film. It's mounted very well. It's a story of people who are suffering, who are specially able, or the idea is to celebrate weaknesses in us, whether they're physical or otherwise. So the whole film is celebrating, if I may say the word, disability, and saying that you and I, who think we are more able-bodied, we all have certain incompleteness in us. Some of it is visible sometimes with people when they're less fortunate or through an accident. But all of us are incomplete. There's no complete person amidst us. So there is no need for trying to distinguish between the two and say one is stronger, one is weaker. I think we should just recognize that God, Allah made us all incomplete, and we should celebrate that incompleteness and not falter. I also believe, especially able people, I don't think they need empathy and pity. They just need to be treated as regular people. Yeah. And, a few little things up and down, we all have irregularities. So the idea is to make a very happy and outgoing commercial film with a lot of madness in it. But the core idea is to celebrate incompleteness of human beings. And Katrina's lovely, and Anushka's really good. It's a very different film. It's a very different film, yeah. 21st December. Hopefully it'll run as much as Jab Tak Hai Jaan Hai.
Hope so. Well, we have to wrap up, but a few rapid-fire questions. If you had to do a biopic portraying a cricketer, which cricketer would that be?
I don't know. If you allow me to play Kali Charan or Clive Lloyd, or if I was to do it back home, I really don't. There's so many of them. I like so many of them.
If a biopic had to be done on you, which actor do you think would make a good Shah Rukh Khan?
I think, biopics have... the underlying idea of a biopic is to tell a story which is against all odds. I don't think I've done enough things against odds to have a biopic made on me. So I don't think there should be a biopic made on me.
Okay, and very often you tweet so many lovely little quotes and thoughts. So can you leave us with one?
I don't know. I like what CPL says. This is how we play. So I just want to tell everyone in Trinidad and Tobago and everywhere in the Caribbean that please be happy and be healthy and keep dancing like you do. The only message I can give to men and women here is you make us very happy, and all around the world with the way you dance and sing and the way you walk, the way you talk. And I wish you all the best, and continue to do so. We love to dance to your music.
Well, we love to dance to your music. We love to watch your movies. Thank you so much for being here with us on behalf of all of us at Radio 90.5 and all our listeners as well, because they love you. So thank you for giving us some of your time today.
Thank you, Kavita, and thank you, Radio 90.5. And God bless you all, and be happy. And thank you.
Thank you.
That was an exclusive interview with Mr. Shah Rukh Khan on the People Station Radio 90.5.